Well, good afternoon, Advanced Drawing. Shooting a video here. No, today is Wednesday. Wednesday morning. I am not obviously in the room. I am gone, and you guys are watching this either on your own personal devices or maybe through one of the many internet-capable devices that I have here in the room. Whatever, regardless, welcome. I wanted to kind of go over a couple things because obviously, today is no different than yesterday, and it's going to be no different than tomorrow. It's a studio day, and I've been taking some time out before you guys kind of center in on getting work done, just to kind of talk to you guys a little bit more about the creative process and have some sort of open dialogue with you guys. And I've been doing this by posting questionnaires online for you guys to fill out, and I'm happy for those of you that have been participating in this, because it's absolutely given me a sense of mind, a sense of direction for how you guys are feeling. Some of you that are seniors, some of you guys that are underclassmen, some of you guys that are trying to get the most out of this class that you can, and some of you guys that are just kind of, biding your time because this is just a means to an end. The class is eventually going to end and I got to make it through there. Regardless of it, I really appreciate the feedback that you guys have given me. And I know it's not a dialogue or a conversation that we're having back and forth, but it is something that I feel like those of you that are participating in it have given me a lot of good insight into the student creative mind, where you guys are at. Because I always I always like to make assumptions, and sometimes, many times I'm wrong. So today is no different. I have a thinking question, a critical thinking question that I'd like you guys to take a look at. I'm going to kind of summarize it here for you guys, but I also want to reassure you guys that there is no right or wrong answer to this. It's just something that throughout the hour, I really appreciate if you could fill out, take the time to either go to it on your phone. If you need to use one of the laptops, I do have iPads here. You can access that. It just would help me out to kind of getting a better idea, a better understanding of where you're at. So yesterday I asked you guys, or I had you guys thinking about the pieces of work in front of you, and one of the obstacles or hurdles that you kind of find. And there was a lot of good feedback, like I previously mentioned. I think one of the most inspirational things that ever happened to me, trying to become better at art or become an artist, known as an artist, whatever that means, was in college when I had a professor, a painting professor, matter of fact, talking to the class in between one of our little breaks from painting something, and he called us all painters. He said, I forget exactly what he was trying to explain, because all I heard was when he referred to us not as students but as painters. And this took me for, just kind of like, oh, what do you mean? I was a little taken aback because I had only taken one painting class up until that point, and I was a sophomore in college, maybe 19 years old. And it was a little surprising to be called something that I wasn't necessarily identifying with. I was thankful for it, but I didn't really understand. And I think this kind of happens too for you guys, especially for those of you that are graduating, or if you've taken a handful of my courses in the past. When I refer to you as creative minds or creatives or artists in general, you are taken aback a little bit because, well, how can I be an artist? I've only taken high school art, or I've only done drawing with you, Mr. Pappas. I don't really get how I'm an artist. But I'd like to kind of put this in perspective here. For everybody that's been in my class, for all of you that are watching this right now, there's a student population that hasn't been here, which means you can do something that other people can't. Now, regardless of your comfort level on that and your ability levels, you can still do it. And these are things that I kind of want you to just think about today as you're working on your projects, as you're working on your your portfolio work during today's studio day. I'd like you guys to think about that, because today's critical thinking question revolves around sort of summarizing the work that you have thus far, the pieces that you've got, whether it's one piece or it's 4 pieces or you have 45 pieces and you're kind of getting stressed out figuring out which ones to pick. Someone earlier in class yesterday asked me, well, is there a theme behind this? Do we have to have like certain types of drawings that fit a theme? And the theme of this is your 5 best works. Simply put, finding your best stuff. That's really what a portfolio is. It showcases who you are and what your abilities are as an artist. And the critical thinking question is along the same lines. The pieces that you've got right now, I'd like you to think of one word to summarize that collection, whatever that word may be, and explain why you came up with that word. Explain why that was the first word that came to your mind. This might prove to kind of open up some doors and directions that you can go in to gather up extra pieces, or maybe to give yourself a little bit of a mind of creating as the weekend comes up, trying to figure out which direction you want to go in. I've been doing a lot of reading over the past few months about the creative process and everything like this, and one thing that stood out from all these websites and top 10 lists that I look at is I think it's really important for us as artists to allow ourselves to be super uncomfortable with learning new things. I think we're absolutely in that mindset where, if we can't get it instantly the first time, then we just are horrible at it, and our self-confidence takes a dive, and we devalue, or we look at it and we say to ourselves, it's not really all that important because I'm not good at it. But I think being uncomfortable and being in an uncomfortable situation because of what you're learning, it's difficult and it's new, is really valuable. So think about that when answering the critical thinking question today throughout class, and as you work on the rest of your portfolio. Tomorrow, again, you'll have class time to work on that stuff, and of course we have a 4-day weekend coming up, which might be a good creative break to step away from your stuff, or maybe really focus and do pull all-nighters to kind of wrap up some work. But the closing of the semester is upon us. It's quickly approaching, and I just want to make sure that throughout this process we don't lose sight as to what it is this class, this course was all about, and what this project is really all about, which is showcasing your best abilities. So I will turn off this video. It's gone a little bit too long. I'll bid you guys good luck. I will see you tomorrow, and please, again, make sure that you guys do fill out that critical thinking question on my website. Actually, my website's probably down there. So I appreciate all the feedback that I get from that, all the little creative insights that you guys give me, and I feel very confident in the direction that you guys are going in. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.